Because what? I mean, you could say that, but he has a fucking... He has a fucking switch, man.
The security alarm didn't ring until after Shuichi returned to the classroom. It only rang after Rantaro moved the hidden door, which means he was still alive.
I mean, since we know that, that's kind of a hard one to answer.
If Shuichi was with me when the alarm went off, then that means he's not the culprit.
By the way, I want to confirm one thing with you, Kaede.
Gotta switch just before the murder, man. Yeah, thank God. The fight on. Hopefully, you can make it to the end of the case, man. We might, maybe we'll pop off after this case. We'll see.
Who set the security sensor on the bookcase?
That's
It
with
was
the face,
Shuichi,
man.
right?
Turn that eyes up at 15. Yeah, I don't even. Would have went longer than that too, but the fucking we did the fucking weird Picross dungeon or whatever, which was a mind boggler with being up that long. What did he say? I definitely need to beat that record, but haven't gotten around to it. I liked the game, it was fun. It had its issues, but I thought it was good enough.
Yeah. Shuichi was the one who set up the security sensor. What about it?
Did you actually check for yourself if the sensor was set on the bookcase, Kaede?
No, I didn't check.
Did it ever occur to you that Shuichi could have lied about setting the sensor?
A lie?
Shuichi pretended to place the sensor on the hidden bookcase door.
Are we doing 9? Yeah. I think we stopped on the tower, right?
But in actuality, he was...
I don't know why it's both in Final Fantasy games, but...
And when he met up with you, he secretly triggered the sensor.
I played some games for quite a long time, but I don't remember the exact hour, so I didn't put them on there.
That would cause Kaede to assume that someone had moved the bookcase.
I see. Sneaky little fucker.
Hasn't even said a single word, man. There's the fast forward. Confirmed truth bullet. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. What a great deal. Yeah, 9's got a lot of side shit.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but
The receiver or
the
something?
moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake.
Too bad console, it's hard to actually hit all these.
The security sensor was armed.
I'm guessing they're talking about the receiver for some reason. I mean, I don't know how that proves shit, but what are the other options?
But the moving bookcase is what triggered
Photos.
it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard
What was the other one? The room? I guess this is the only option,
came
really.
from the sensor when Shuichi moved it.
Well,
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
maybe
As it
this
turns out,
one?
Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake.
Won't have the sensor be there to activate the photos, Mela?
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake.
What are they going for here, man?
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it
Why
turns
is
out, Shuichi
that?
had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came
I don't get what it could be. Definitely getting off after this case. The boy's tired. I mean, it says here that it was, but I mean, they're trying to say it wasn't.
the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake.
I mean, I don't see how this helps us. Like, it says that's what happened, but we're like refuting that, aren't we? I mean, are they just saying like nobody opened the bookcase? Like, I mean, fucking right here, dude. Like, I don't really get what they're going for here.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
Like, is it this fucking receiver, dude? Like, this one seems
The
like
security sensor was
retarded.
armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from The sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off,
Or all of them again. I wish they'd show what the shit was on here. Like which ones are actually being used for evidence. I don't see what that has to do with it. Ugh. I mean, it's moving the bookcase, but how does that prove anything? He's up here, but what does that prove? That there's no photos or something of him like taking it back, or
she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot can make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
why
As it turns
not?
out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot can make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns
Here.
out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
Whoops.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
The sound we heard was from the receiver, though. What the
So
fuck?
when Kaede heard the sensor go
Is
off,
that what they're going
she
for?
figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
I thought I already
Only an
checked
idiot
it.
can make that mistake.
Didn't I already try that? Did I already try the receiver on the second comment? I don't remember. Thought I did. Kind of brain dead. That's why I'm saying we're done after this case. Even if I'd like to move on.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot can make that mistake.
I don't really get what they're going for, man. I mean, is it like it would be going off and he's running in or some shit? Or like what? Don't know. Top brain power. Not tired brain power. Probably right about that, man. It's like brain dead right now. I don't know, like little detail they're going for. I mean, is it just that he's moving it? I mean, that proves that somebody moved it. But that doesn't prove that the fucking sensor's on there. I mean, doesn't the sensor need to be down here to like activate the cameras? Or am I not understanding how it works? I guess the sound for the sensor was only for the moving bookcase. Don't know, man. I'll just have to game over and try random shit, man. Why would he not have it? I don't know. Ooh, yawning.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't.
We won't give up.
I need to get the health bullshit. Oh, it just goes right back.
The sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what
Fun.
triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go
Oh.
off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Are they trying to say that like he wasn't in the room when the sensor went off? Surely not. That's like the dumbest fucking like. I don't see what the point of this whole argument is if they're gonna
The sensor was
do
armed.
something that
The
retarded.
moving bookcase. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from
We'll see.
the sensor when Shuichi moved it.
No. I was just like if the sensor didn't go off though when we moved it, or like the sensor went off when we were all just sitting in the room, not when he moved it.
The security sensor was
I
armed.
thought.
but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot can make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but
I feel like in the middle of all of our talking, maybe we missed a.
as it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound Kaede heard came from
A detail.
the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm.
So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, She figured someone had tried to move the bookcase.
Only an idiot could make that mistake. The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
Is there like a picture of the fucking like him grabbing the sensor or some shit, man? Like
As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
The sound
Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm. So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase. Only an idiot can make that mistake.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving book triggered it.
I don't remember if we already tried that.
The security sensor was armed, but the moving bookcase isn't what triggered it. As it turns out, Shuichi had it the whole time.
the sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when
When Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm. So when Kaede
I don't
heard the
remember
sensor
what we've already
go off, she figured someone had
presented.
tried to move the bookcase. Only an idiot can make that mistake.
That's how dead I'm getting. I wanted to do more after this, but
The security sensor was
probably not a
armed.
good
but
idea.
The moving bookcase isn't what triggered it.
I don't know, man.
As it turns out, Shuichi had
The whole time, the sound Kaede heard came from the sensor when Shuichi secretly moved it in order to trigger the alarm. So when Kaede heard the sensor go off, she figured someone had tried to move the bookcase. Only an idiot can make that mistake.
I just don't really even understand what we're like doing right now. What? This seems like such a random ass fucking
moving
thing.
bookcase is
Pretty sure we already did those, but I guess
No,
not.
that's wrong.
Yeah, it just feels very unclear.
Wait a minute.
I feel like
This
we're
is
just
weird.
kind of like scrounging for like
Security sensor
extra
was in place,
debates. Like I don't get what they're trying to say. Like he moved it then, and the sound we heard was him fucking with it in his pocket, or the sound we heard was him moving it. Like I feel like they needed a lot more lines there.
We wouldn't have been able to take that picture. We were only able to get it because the sensor was triggered by the hidden door.
Oh, that? Easy to explain. Well, you see,
I mean, yeah, it's easy if it's easy, man. But like if you don't remember that, then you need to be able to figure it out, and that doesn't make much sense otherwise. If you don't remember that detail, it's very unclear. Like I don't even know what they're asking. I know the receiver and sensor is separate.
I guess you're right. Sorry, I didn't think that.
You're giving up
The
that
dude just lying
Yeah.
again.
I mean, whatevs. I made a mistake. Big deal.
you speak as if you knew that from the start. Even I was taken in.
Yeah, didn't we already say that the camera wouldn't take pics of the door without the sensor? Wouldn't any picture work then? Like, I don't really get what they're going for there.
So you see, Shuichi can't be the culprit.
It just kind of felt half-assed.
Now wait just a minute.
Is it just that particular camera? Like, I mean, I thought that was the whole point. Like, are we arguing like something that was supposed to be common sense? The sensor was linked to the hidden door camera. I thought they were all just linked to, like, how would a camera know to do it without the sensor. It just felt kind of dumb.
The security sensor
mean,
had a power supply.
Yeah, I'm getting
so
a
what
little
if it
tired,
went
but
like this?
fuck, man, that was a little special. Cameras are autonomous. Okay. Maybe I was talking too much during that part. How does that even work? I don't even remember how they made the fucking cameras. We picked up the ship from the warehouse, turned it in, and then just put up the cameras.
The
Okay.
security sensor
Well,
was set up
We'll
on
try to
the
pay
first
more
ship,
attention in the
and
next
Shuichi
case for
had its
the little
receiver.
shit like that.
However, Shuichi turned the receiver off.
Huh? How come?
That would get you a picture, but no alarm when Rentaro moved the bookcase.
I remember Miyu made them, but I didn't remember what they made them with. I thought it was a sensor and just cameras linked to like the sensor, but I guess there was some other device. I don't remember what they grabbed in the warehouse. We were reloading for so many hours trying to get that extra scene. I kind of lost some of the details, I think.
Then, when Shuichi
Plot,
said
just
he's gonna check
cameras
the
and
basement,
sensors and
he
plot.
actually goes to the library.
I just meant the materials.
And thanks to the 30-second interval, he's got time to go in after Rantaro.
He could have collected the sensor from the hidden bookcase after killing Rantaro.
I see. Then he caused the receiver to go off in front of Kaede to trick her.
It's certainly plausible, considering that Shuichi knew about the intervals.
How needlessly complicated. But I guess it's not impossible.
Shuichi really is the culprit?
They could make it the midget man and then bring it back on Shuichi later. They've done that before. Or just the midget man. Or just Shuichi. I still feel like those are the only two options. We'll see though.
So the ultimate detective is the killer. What a plot twist!
I just am talking about what they made the cameras with. Like what? A sensor, a camera, like what were the other items they pulled from the warehouse? None of this other mumbo jumbo. I don't care what they actually tools they made them with. Like obviously she's doing shit. Suspension of disbelief and a logic argument I don't think works. That's the whole point of this.
Wait! Why do you guys think he's the culprit? Shuichi, please say something. Why aren't you saying anything?
Okay, what did we get from the warehouse? That's the question. Forget me for a minute.
What's wrong? You're not culprit, are you?
I'm just curious.
Hey, you gonna say anything? We'll all vote for you if you don't.
Vote,
Okay
vote.
with being the culprit. Are you ready to turn yourself in?
His silence makes him seem too suspicious. Hepatitis, man. Maybe he's just freaking out because everybody's accusing eyes are on him. Cameras and sensors in motion. Okay, so sensors and motion detectors. That was the missing thing I forgot about. I thought it was just the cameras and the sensors, so the cameras were linked to the sensors. Or the one sensor or whatever the hell. Forgot about the motion detectors. That's all I was wanting to know. I thought everything was linked to one, like, stimuli kind of device. Why you lie? Why you do this? They're gonna make it to Reggie, dude. It's so easy though, since he's the tennis dude and he said he used steel balls before, but I don't know, we'll see. He's not worth it, yeah, man. We don't want to make ourselves seem like evil people, man. The opposite meaning. Too tired for this shit. Their tutorials always so horrible in these games, man. Just like fucking text on text and you're just like, I don't even know what they're talking about.